I have been a victim, a terrible, terrible victim. It involves being starved, living on flour and vegetable oil. It involves inhuman living conditions. It involves beating. It involves police corruption. It involves being cut off from medication and medical care.
I've reached the point of exhaustion, being cut off from medicine.
I was once a top spokesperson in this country. I was the first spokesperson of a #1 brand who happened to be disabled. I was not spokesperson because I was disabled. It was actually hidden. Kind of a big selling point today. I was a little kid. I was autistic and sexually abused since the time I was 4. I was a mess. And somehow I became a success. Image and branding. And that's what I became a success as. Hiding the fact I was a sexually molested, little autistic kid. And becoming a model and a spokesperson. Well, that all changed about a year ago. I am so blessed to have 2 amazing partners. One of my partners is in Michigan, and we have beautiful property up there, beautiful companies up there. And one of my partners is in the Chicago suburbs, in Schaumburg, Illinois. And beautiful companies and property, home there too. And any kind of partnership, whether it's romantic or business or combined, has ups and downs and struggles because we're all people. And both of my partners were and are struggling with some things. And so am I. We were all 3 of us, coming to terms with some just awful things that we discovered about my father. And I'd actually hoped to go to a therapeutic environment to work with therapists on the trauma involved. And because of what my partners were going through, I kind of needed to get away right away. For a few days at least. So it was arranged for me to go to an Airbnb. Probably be there for a few days, but I had it for the month just in case. And sorry, this is hard. This is really hard. My body is very fatigued. I've been through a lot of trauma. I'm still in a lot of trauma. I have a little friend, though. She gets me through. And Airbnb has a budget of $50 million a year for cover-up payments for things that happen on their properties, such as rape, such as brutal rape, such as brutal rape, such as brutal rape. I can keep saying that. That's four months living on flour and vegetable oil, physical attacks, my social media taken over, my reputation destroyed, my finances stolen, my children deprived of their father, my children deprived of finances that they need to survive, my friends not knowing if I was even alive or told otherwise. There's been some record settlements lately by Airbnb. that put that 50 million to shame. I don't think there's a record of anything as bad as what I've endured. The move to the Airbnb was necessitated because of kind of an emergency in the lives of myself and my partners. There were some medical issues kind of involving all three of us. But my sister happened to appear out of nowhere. I had COVID, desperate situation. She happened to appear, and she facilitated getting me into the Airbnb. And then on the first day, I met with the management company, the chief investment officer, Nathan Brown, of Westward 360 and Outer Banks Capital. And he stated that the arrangement had been transferred to Indigo Spirit and Entertainability Group, two of the companies that I represent. And he agreed to all that, and I'm supposed to be there for two days, maybe a month. And that's Airbnb. The Airbnb promise, guarantee, that has me still on death's door. I'm told I strike kind of a commanding figure in a suit. Enough so that I've had respected positions at companies and actually represented them publicly as spokesperson. And there's been a lot of articles written about me over time. Kind of nice to read about yourself when they're nice articles. And one of the nice things that was once said, a little reporter, little paper, mentioned in passing, he'd seen me give free advice to a business, and he called me America's friend. It was a cute title, and it kind of stuck. Great marketing term. And when I arrived at the Airbnb and met with Nathan Brown, Westward 360, I wasn't in a suit. And I'm very open that I'm disabled. I can't not be disabled. I'm a success despite being disabled. But I don't hide it. It's kind of my obligation to be the voice of those who don't have a voice. And I give free advice. And so I was talking to Nathan, and I asked him about his brand. I asked him, what is this Westward 360? How could I help you with it? Free. And he explained that they don't like attention, that they're a $15 billion slumlord, he said. And what they do is they rent out Airbnb properties. They rent out their properties through Airbnb and do it under the executives' names, under company representative names. So it appears like it's an individual when it's actually a Westward 360 property. There was a lot of details that he explained, all of it. And apparently he didn't understand that disability doesn't mean dumb. And I think he thought he was just talking to an idiot and not somebody with the accomplishments that we talked about. I don't think he knew to do a search engine check to see who I was. And he bragged about his customer service ability and how at CDW he was the legend of customer service by making promises. And he seemed like a really nice guy. And with autism, you trust people when they tell you they're a good guy. And he promised there was a bunch of things wrong. It's a nice place, but there's a bunch of things wrong. The sink didn't work. The sink in the kitchen dripped all night. There was no TV that worked. There was no the electricity sparked. The internet didn't work. The tub didn't work. And I'm a nice guy. I said, hey, as long as we get this fixed, it'll be okay. And he promised that no rent would be charged until it was. And he even promised a rate about $1,000 less than what it had been agreed to. Because we were also doing other business there, shooting some shows. And the neighbors, Jason and Jennifer, said that, oh yeah, he's a really nice guy, but he doesn't always follow through, and Westward really never follows through. I just didn't know that they were going to lie that bad. And endanger my life. And basically try to kill me. Or get people to try and kill me. And one of the things that was a major issue was there was no lock on one of the doors. And Nathan swore up and down that you can't get a lock for a sliding door. It's just okay and it's safe. And I wasn't cool with that, and I told him that. And he promised that Westward 360 was going to take care of it all if anything got stolen. But nothing would get stolen, he promised. Just like he promised all the things would be fixed that were always ignored by him and by everybody else in the company. Because we called and emailed. And when things were stolen, we followed the police report. And that's when the real crime started.
Hi, this is Richard Travolta, Rikki Lee Travolta. I am following through on what I was instructed to do, which was file a police report documenting that things were stolen when the lock was not replaced after 2 months on my residence that I'm leasing from Westward and Nathan. And as an accommodation of my disability, I am recording this so that I can refer to it in California Cookies, which is a business in Fox Lake. And I am talking with a very nice and very, very understanding and very polite officer who said that it's okay to tape this. May I ask your name?
Megan Blue.
Officer Megan Blue? Officer Megan Blue. Can I show you on here? Sir, I'm very goofy. I'm very fun, but in a suit, I'm very business. And
that's when the real crime started. If that wasn't enough. Because Nathan stopped communicating with me and my employees and contacted my family. The ones who have no contact with me, except a phone call here and there. And he convinced them I was crazy. Because they didn't know I'd been misdiagnosed. Because they didn't talk to me. And they never checked with me if what Nathan said was true. They just believed him. And Nathan convinced them to commit crimes. Including taking my money, including getting my doctor to commit HIPAA violations and having to be terminated because he was going to do things that were unforgivable and would have cost me my life. All based on the lies of Nathan Brown, who also lied to the police, endangering my life. So they didn't protect me when I was getting death threats. And then not just threats.
Ma'am, could I just talk to you for a moment? Okay. There's actually 7 police reports ongoing with like death threats and things, not from Ryan, but from Westward 360, the slumlord, abusive slumlord. I'm sure you've heard about it. There's 7 death threats. We've asked for police protection. Sergeant Dawson said that American citizens aren't, that the police, it's not the police's responsibility to protect citizens when they're getting death threats. And he said that twice on camera. Because I'm disabled, and I'm one of the most well-known disabled spokespeople in the country. I work with Steven Adler, Quiet Riot. So I think what happened was Goofy Boy, Nathan, a lot of stuff got stolen because he didn't put a lock on the door, and he said, oh, we'll cover it.
Right.
Well, I do albums. I do television. When I started the police report with Officer Blue, and she said, get the footage and from the security cameras and get a list of what was stolen. And I told Nathan that's what was going on, because he told me to do that. Right. And that's when he started the death threats and everything, because it was like $50 million worth of stuff. And I think he was expecting ashtrays because he heard disabled and he thought dumb.
And then not just threats, but beating. And worse. Awful things done to my body that aren't supposed to be done to men who don't want it. Deprived of food. Taking my social media. All lies. All lies without any investigation. Just trusting him. A man known to lie. Check the Better Business Bureau report. Almost every day there is a complaint like this against Westward 360. This one just happens to be the obligation of Airbnb too. I don't know if Nathan Brown and his friends at Westward 360, David Westbeer and Brent Stradoff, Travis Taylor, Michelle Rodriguez, Rowley the Internet Chief, all the people that were talked to and begged for intervention. I don't know if Nathan realized when he decided to use the word crazy and lie to my family and lie to the police what the repercussions were going to be. It cost me millions of dollars. It cost me my entire reputation. It cost me my family relationships with my children. It made my mother's family commit felonies, thinking they were doing the right thing. It made doctors and medical organizations commit horrible HIPAA violations and violate my rights and put my life in danger. It made the Fox Lake Police Department, going up to the chief of police, commit atrocious crimes, human rights, civil rights violations. All this based on a lie, based on a word, crazy. And then there's what Nathan Brown and his cohorts did physically to me, starting with death threats and then progressing to actual physical violations of my body. There was being starved. There was being tormented, losing my insurance, losing my home, losing my vehicles, losing my companies, losing my friendships, losing my reputation, and almost losing my life. And it's not over. It's not over. And all of this is the obligation of Airbnb. The settlements in the news have been monumental. Bloomberg uncovered that $50 million a year is budgeted to cover things like rape on Airbnb property. Rape on Airbnb property. This goes far beyond just rape of a man, a father, a businessman, a public advocate for those living with and succeeding with disability. My life is still in danger. I have no home, I have no insurance, I have no medicine. I struggle to survive. I'm eating out of garbage cans. Because Nathan Brown and his cohorts at Westward 360, on behalf of and representing Airbnb up to the ownership and stockholders, chose to use the word crazy for a disabled person. Airbnb. I did not enjoy my stay very much. I've lost everything. I'm thinking it might be about $100 million to make me happy. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough. And I think it's going to go mostly to charities and social services so that you don't abuse the disabled. You shouldn't abuse anybody. You shouldn't abuse anybody. And definitely not those who are in need and those who ask for help. Now, Airbnb, you don't get to say, oh, we didn't know. You endorsed this company. You put your name behind this company. You put your name behind their statement that I am crazy. I challenge you to prove how one man's statement with no documentation, based entirely on the fact that he got caught breaking the law and was liable contractually for a lot of money. I didn't enjoy my stay, Airbnb, and I don't think a little refund is going to do it. I'm dying. I am literally dying because of Airbnb. This is Airbnb's endorsement. This is Airbnb's guarantee of a great stay. I've had my entire financial fortune, my entire reputation, my health, everything destroyed. I'm barely alive. This is what I'm down to. I have almost out vegetable oil spray. Okay. And some flour. Oh, that's a good one. Here, I've been saving this one. I'm laughing, man. I've been saving my delicacy, right? A bag of croutons. And I have salad to go with it. I'm down to salad dressing, a bottle of marinara, soda that I hate. I freaking hate this sparkling water crap. I know other people like it. It has no flavor to me. Autistic people like me, it tastes like garbage. I got it for one of my employees that was driven away by the police because they couldn't get here. But just wanted to make sure that, Nathan Brown and Westward 360 and Airbnb made sure to leave me a note that enjoy your stay at the cabin. Acknowledging that it's not an apartment like it's listed with the Postal Service and that it's a separate building, a cabin. And they wanted to make sure that I would enjoy my stay where they've destroyed my life and kept me from all my friends and my family. And my son has not had any money or his birthday present since I moved into this place in October 1st, I think. No rent was supposed to be charged, nothing, until simple repairs were made. Next year, I'm still here. I haven't wanted to be here. I didn't want to be here in the first place. One of the things that had to be fixed before any rent was charged was the dripping faucet. Oh. I see dripping. In fact, I hear dripping. And see, I see a sink full of dishes. Because the sink doesn't work. Nothing's worked since I moved in. And they've been charging rent to people, and nothing's been fixed. And all the requests were made in writing by multiple people and verbally. Look at the bathroom and the shower doesn't work and the sink doesn't work. And the toilet was fixed after days of requests and only by somebody from a neighbor who himself is getting screwed out like $600 a month, I think, in like landscaping that Nathan and Westward doesn't pay for. But yeah, look, check this out. Yeah. Oh, that's really good. Now that wasn't like that when I moved in, but when we couldn't get employees to be able to show up to work because they were being terrorized, and the Fox Lake police refused to help and was watching it. And it's all on video, with Officer Boyd having to be stopped from tearing me away. And so when you can get people with typical resumes, you hire transients and drug dealers and not drug dealers, but drug addicts. Big difference. They didn't choose to be drug addicts. They were cut off by hospitals and doctors who didn't want to treat them after getting them addicted to things. But what happens when you hire drug addicts, because that's the only option, because Nathan Brown and Westward 360 stop your employees from showing up with death threats, and the police help them. And thank you, Airbnb. Thank you, Airbnb. You've ruined my life. You've ruined entertainability. You've ruined Indigo Spirit. You've ruined Jacob Brozick. You've ruined Deborah Swinsford. You've ruined Rikki Lee Travolta. You've ruined everything. Not exactly the smiling face you just saw. This is me. Without ADHD medication and anxiety medication and food and the comfort of friendship.